Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're looking at a truly fascinating foundational challenge that literally every new artist faces. We are unpacking through Scenes Henna's essential guide on beginner Mehndi designs, specifically focusing on the ultimate framework of do's and don'ts. If you've ever picked up a henna cone, started a design, and ended up with, a blotchy, uneven mandala because your cone pressure was suddenly off, or a jagged, messy vine because your hand just wouldn't stop shaking, well, you're in exactly the right place. We're going to visually deconstruct the learning curve of henna art. Instead of just talking about mistakes abstractly, we're digging into the actual physical mechanics of where things go wrong, and more importantly, the precise techniques required to make sure they go absolutely right. So let's talk about the single most critical element in this entire process, you. I want to speak directly to you for a moment and really ground this in the physical mechanics of henna application. Because honestly, the most important variable in mastering Mehndi designs isn't the brand of the henna paste, it isn't the humidity in the room, and it isn't the specific occasion. It's your grip fatigue. It's your breathing rhythm when you're pulling a straight, delicate line. It's exactly how your muscle memory reacts when you try to draw a curve. Before we even talk about the cone or the paste, we have to acknowledge that your body's mechanics completely dictate the outcome. Understanding that your hand stability and your focused control are the central mechanisms of this art form, that is the absolute first real step to improving your craft. But let's be totally honest about the chaos that hits when you first start applying the paste, right? You have this perfect, symmetrical vision in your head, but then the reality of the cone sets in. Suddenly, bam, you get that dreaded henna blob right in the middle of a delicate floral petal because of an invisible air bubble you forgot to squeeze out. Your line thickness wildly varies from thread thin to overwhelmingly thick just because you're squeezing the cone directly from the middle instead of controlling it from the top. It's a rapid-fire sequence of physical errors. You try to fix one wobbly line, and whoops, you accidentally smudge an entire section with your wrist. This is the exact whirlwind of chaotic frustration that happens when technical errors compound. It's fast, it's messy, and it feels entirely overwhelming. And the sheer volume of technical habits you have to keep track of is staggering. You're juggling beginner mistakes, trying to mentally catalog all the henna don'ts, and analyzing Mehndi design errors as they unfold in real time on the skin. Bad habits sneak in so quickly and quietly. We're talking about things like hovering your hand entirely in the air with zero anchoring, which absolutely guarantees shaky, broken lines, or ignoring the essential skin prep work, like leaving lotions or body oils on the canvas that prevent the henna stain from ever truly setting or darkening. These aren't just conceptual errors, guys. These are the physical habits and specific techniques that holds beginner artists back, acting like invisible anchors just weighing down your creative potential. So let's just take a breath. Let's pause. How do we actually fix this? Well, we stop the chaos right here. We slow everything down to a calm, steady rhythm. We are no longer going to focus purely on the frustration or that overwhelming list of physical missteps. Instead, actually, scratch that. We are going to completely pivot our approach right now. We're moving away from the anxiety of making mistakes, and we are stepping directly into the tactical, mechanical solutions that will transform your application. Now, what's really interesting about this direct contrast is the immediate actionable relief it provides. We aren't just pointing out what goes wrong, we're providing the exact mechanical correction. Take the biggest don't beginners make, squeezing the cone from the middle or near the tip. Doing that completely ruins your pressure control and tires out your hand super fast. The essential do right across from it, rolling the top of the cone tight, securing it with tape, and applying gentle, consistent pressure solely from the base using your thumb. It's a game changer. Another massive don't is trying to blindly draw lines towards yourself at an awkward angle. The absolute do is actively rotating the client's hand or your own paper, so you're always pulling lines in your most natural, comfortable direction. So the crucial point here is how we reframe these early hurdles. Beginner mistakes shouldn't make you want to quit. They're just data points telling you exactly what to tweak. Let's take the mistake of the shaky floating hand we talked about. If you take that beginner error and apply the direct correction, which is anchoring your pinky finger solidly on the skin or the table as a pivot point, that shaky, uneven, frustrating vine instantly transforms into a crisp, perfectly weighted floral element. You literally cannot achieve perfect Mehndi designs without navigating and correcting those early mechanical flaws. Every specific mistake you recognize and physically adjust brings your technique mathematically closer to perfection. And this brilliantly illustrates the exact workflow you need to adopt during your practice sessions. It's a simple, actionable, 3-step procedure. Step 1. Identify your beginner mistakes in real time. For example, spot that your straight grid lines keep breaking mid-air. Step 2. Eliminate the don't, which in this case is moving your entire arm from the shoulder to draw the line. Step 3. Apply the do to your Mehndi by planting your wrist firmly and pivoting only your fingers and wrist to drape the henna paste onto the skin. It's a continuous, active loop of mechanical improvement. Identify the physical error, eliminate the bad posture, and apply the correct technique. Boom. Let's zoom out to the bigger picture for a second and see how this builds your overall skill set. Why does meticulously breaking down these do's and don'ts matter so much? Because mastering these fundamental mechanics is the definitive way to elevate your craft. You can't build a complex, breathtaking, intricate bridal design if you're still fighting your cone pressure, or if you keep forgetting to anchor your pinky finger. By internalizing these physical rules until they become muscle memory, you're giving yourself the ultimate freedom to actually be creative. When you no longer have to stress about a sudden henna blob or a broken line, your mind is totally free to focus entirely on the artistry, the flow, and the beauty of the design. So you now have the actual roadmap. You know the exact physical mechanics to look out for. You know how to control your pressure from the top of the cone. You know exactly how to anchor your hand to stabilize your line work. And you have that simple 3-step formula to identify and fix your errors in real time. You're no longer just hoping for a good design. You have the tools to guarantee one. So I'm going to leave you with this one question to think about as you go grab your henna cone. Are you ready to stop making beginner mistakes and truly master your next Mehndi design?